Hello, my people. Hello. Good day to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shifts. My name is Michael Ojola from Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about a quote I saw on a friend's status. I said, okay, let me take this quote and expand on it further. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Better to admit you walked through the wrong door than spend your life in the wrong room. Better to admit that you walked through the wrong door than to spend your life in the wrong room. That is what I want us to talk about. It's admitting when we've taken the wrong path. I believe there is a certain courage that is required to recognize when something is not right for you and to make the choice to walk away from it. I think it's a courageous act. I know this is the reality. It is easy to get stuck in the wrong room. That is the reality. Most people are stuck in the wrong room. They know it is the wrong room, but they don't have the courage to walk away. It's easy to sit in that room pretending that everything is fine because you are too afraid, you are too proud, or too uncertain to stand up and walk out. But deep down, you know something is off. And the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to leave. So today, we're going to talk about what it means to find ourselves in the wrong room, why it is important, so important to admit it when we do, and how to make the brave decision to step out and realign our lives. Whether it's in our career, whether it's in our relationship, it's about everything. It's about living with purpose. It's about honoring our true self. It's about creating a life that is fully aligned with who we are or who we've decided to be. Let us start by acknowledging one simple fact. Admitting that we've made a mistake can be terrifying. Admitting that we've made a wrong turn can be very scary. We've all been taught to value commitment, to see things through, and to finish whatever we started. But sometimes these messages can keep us trapped in situations that are actually holding us back. Why do we stay in the wrong room? Why do we find ourselves in jobs, in relationships, in social circles, or habits that don't serve us? I think it usually boils down to fear, especially the fear of judgment, the fear of failure, or the fear of the unknown. Maybe you are afraid people will think you are a quitter. Maybe you are scared of what is waiting for you on the other side of that door. Or maybe deep down you're worried that leaving means you've wasted your time or that you will have to start over. Let me just tell you this. Staying in a room that doesn't fit you is far more costly than living. Let me repeat that. Staying in a room that doesn't fit you is far more costly than living. The longer you stay there, the more you sacrifice your happiness, the more you sacrifice your potential, the more you sacrifice your ultimate peace. See, you're not doing anyone any favors by sitting in a space that is not meant for you. No, you're not doing yourself a favor. You're not doing the people around you any favor. Because when you are in the wrong room, you cannot be the best version of yourself. And if you cannot be the best version of yourself, you're robbing the world of the impact that you were meant to make. You're robbing the world of the impact that you were meant to have. See, you need to recognize the wrong room. What does it feel like? How do you know you are in it? See, it might look fine on the outside, but it might feel comfortable. It might feel familiar. It might even be what you thought you wanted at some point. But here is the catch. You feel out of place. Whenever you are in that space, you feel out of place. There is an underlying tension. There is a restlessness. associated with you being in that place. A nagging voice that keeps asking you, is this really it? Is this all my life is all about? Is this where I want to be? Is this where I'm meant to be? There are signs that you can look at in your life right now to know maybe you are in the wrong room. You might have a feeling of constant dissatisfaction. No matter how hard you try to make things work, you are just not satisfied. You have a sense of numbness, as if you're going through the motions. There is no passion. There is no joy. You have an urge to escape. You just want to run away. Fantasies of other paths, other people, other possibilities are messing up with your mind. You just want to escape and all that. And perhaps the feeling that you are compromising your values, the feeling that you are shrinking to fit in a space that doesn't allow you to grow, that feeling, all these signs can be pointing to one thing, that you are in the wrong room. The wrong room also can take any form. It might be a career that pays you well, but it leaves you feeling unfulfilled. It might be a relationship that feels stagnant or it's one-sided. It might be a social circle where you cannot be your authentic self. Whatever it is, the wrong room is the place that limits you. It's the place that drains you. It's the place that keeps you from living a life that is aligned with your true self. See, once you have realized that, I'm in the wrong room, the question now is, will you leave? And that is the question I want you to answer yourself. Will you leave? This is where things get very tough, because walking out means making a choice to disrupt the status quo. It means you choose uncertainty over familiarity. It means you embrace the possibility of failure, of judgment, of loneliness. And those are big risks, all right? But I want you to consider the alternative. Imagine you spend the next 5, 10, 20 years in a place that stifles your potential, in a place that does not allow you to be the best version of yourself. Imagine that you are giving up. Imagine what you are giving up by staying. See, walking out is not easy, but it is necessary if you want to create a life that is truly your own. And let me say this, there is nothing wrong with admitting that a choice you made no longer fits you. There is nothing wrong with that. You have not failed because you've changed. That is the truth here. You have not failed because you have changed. Unless after you've walked out of the wrong room, your life is not better. Growth means evolving. And sometimes evolution requires that you let go of some things, or you let go of your past life. Leaving the wrong room also might mean you quit a job, you end a relationship, you move to a new environment, a new city, or you change a long-held belief that you have. It's not only about giving up, all right? It's about giving yourself the freedom to find the right room. It's about learning to trust yourself, because it's important. You cannot move out of the wrong room if you don't trust yourself. One of the hardest things about this process is learning to trust yourself. To walk out of the wrong room, you have to believe that there is something better for you out there. And even if you don't know exactly what that thing is yet, but you know there is something that is better for you out there. It's about having faith in your own intuition, in your own dreams, in your own potential, all right? It's about trusting yourself. And trusting yourself also means believing that you are worthy of something that is fulfilling, that you deserve to be in a room that feels right, in a place that feels fulfilling, that feels purposeful, that you are capable of finding that place. See, this can be very scary. It's much easier to stay where you are. It's much easier to avoid taking the leap. It's much easier to silence the inner voice that is calling you to something different. But if you are willing to trust yourself, if you're willing to honor your intuition, if you're willing to act on what you know in your heart, that is where the magic happens, okay? That is where real transformation begins. That is where you start living a life that reflects who you truly are. When you stay in a situation that doesn't serve you, you are teaching yourself to settle. You're telling yourself that it is okay to live a life that is less than what you truly want. And that kind of compromise can eat away at you over time. It can lead to resentment, to regret, and to a sense of unfulfillment that is hard to shake. But perhaps the biggest consequence of staying is you lose yourself. You lose touch with your passion, with your purpose, with your authentic self. You become a version of yourself that is shaped by external expectations, by fear, and by a desire for comfort rather than growth. Better to admit you walked through the wrong door than spend your life in the wrong room.